The Search with Lisa. If you are new here, welcome. We do true crime. We do unfiltered opinions on what's going on sometimes. And I also have a yin to my yang where I do some beauty reviews and just little things, unboxing, just something to kind of keep my mental health up because, doing a lot of true crime can kind of get you, you want to step out for a while. Anyway, welcome in, and we are talking tonight about the Menendez Brothers. Okay, Mr. Lyle and Erik are the topic. Like no topic we have heard before, but why I chose to bring it is because I am in my late 40s. I've said I'm 47. So I was very aware of this case when it happened, and I have heard it throughout, right? I started hearing some gibbering going on about a month ago, even a little before that, and I did just kind of start looking into some things, and I thought, okay, well, all of a sudden, like, we moved forward real quick. And I'm like, how did we get here? So, guys, that's what we're here for tonight, is how did we go from just talking about it, where there were two fellas doing life without parole, to now possibly being home for Thanksgiving. Let's talk about it, okay? The word of mouth is such power. That really is a big part of this case. I have been down so many rabbit holes to where I literally was sorting out the facts from the BS to the hunches to whatever to really break this for y'all up until actually today. I thought I had it all done 2 days ago, and then bam, we got a whole new turnaround. The reason why I said there was some gibberish in the past about possibly getting out, as they had already put in a file, habeas corpus, back in 2023. And that was based on the letter that had been found to Andy, who he passed away in 2001. That was from Erik, and it was stating things about being molested and stuff like that, as stated from his father up to recently before the acts were committed. That was something that was found they wanted to enter in, and the whole idea at first, guys, was to get a new trial, to enter new evidence, okay? That was like pretty much the plan. That actually, I believe, was gonna be in November, like November 26th, I believe they were going. It was around those dates. But let me tell you how people talk, and when things start coming out, when Netflix and Hulu and everybody started putting out the documentaries, I'm going to tell you, plus people talking about it on here, shout out to the creators that we work so hard to bring out some of the true crime and what we feel, because we want to know what the communities feel. We all get to talking and we're in our fields, okay? But it has helped, because I'm going to tell you exactly why. The attorneys even state this is why it's moving so fast, because of the push of the community after watching. So basically what happens is they had already had something in, like I said. The next thing was that after all the hype and everything and got people really talking, like, why are these guys in jail? Not everybody now. Not everybody was, they need to get out. But let me tell you, they have people advocating for them. They were contacting Los Angeles District Attorney's office. And the district attorney there is George Gasgon, okay? And he is the one that actually has released, you might have seen if you've been watching the latest press conferences. He says his office had been reviewing the case for more than a year, after lawyers for the brothers filed the habeas corpus petition arguing that new evidence supporting the brothers' claims of abuse had been unearthed. He said he had decided to speed up the decision after a recent Netflix docudrama on the case just the latest of numerous television productions on the case over the years, resulted in a large amount of calls to his office from the media. Our office got flooded with requests for information, and even though this case was already scheduled to be heard in late November, I decided to move this forward because, quite frankly, we didn't have enough resources to handle all the requests. And one of the things that I strive to do in this office is to be very transparent. One thing I want to add to this. So, basically, when people started feeling like, why are they sitting there? This is what has happened. This is the information that we all didn't know or didn't see and didn't get the full picture of. And remember, because they had 2 trials, they need justice, okay? And like he said, I'm being transparent. We needed to do something and move fast because people were overloading the office. So remember, your voice does count. But I also want to add in, less than 2 weeks before the election, Mr. Gasgon, a former police officer also, because he was a police officer in Los Angeles, who also served 2 terms as the district attorney in San Francisco, is trailing his opponent, Nathan Hochman, a former federal prosecutor, by 30 points according to poll commissioned by the University of California, Berkeley, okay, and the Los Angeles Times have all said this. Voters believe Mr. Hochman is better suited to bring crime down and repair dysfunction in the office, the polls show. A loss by Mr. Gascon would deal a serious blow to national movement to elect progressive prosecutor as the Los Angeles County District Attorney's office in the nation's largest prosecuting office. Mr. Hochman, who hasn't addressed the merits of the Menendez case, attacked Mr. Gasgon for timing of his decision. By releasing it now, Gasgon has cast a cloud over the fairness and impartiality of his decision, allowing question whether the decision was correct or just another desperate political move by a DA running a losing campaign, scrambling to grab headlines through a made-for-TV decision. So, I wanted to just kind of say that is one thing going around, because you have to understand it's usually not the district attorneys, the state, like, going in and trying to help them get a retrial. You know what I mean? It's usually the defense putting in everything. So that is something that was going around because he is trailing in the polls for his position, and was this a motive to get them out? See, you know, these are things that were questioned in the Gypsy Rose case as well. That's how Munchausen by proxy came about, because the attorneys spoke about him. You know, they had to do that for their defense plea. All right? Allegedly. What I'm saying is, you're going to hear some of that too. Basically, how we got here is, due to that, they were able to, instead of going and retrying, they had the LA district attorneys on their side. Now, he also stated that Gascon said that his attorney's office, they weren't all happy. Not everybody agrees that Lyle and Erik should get out. So it is causing a little bit of rift in the office. Some believe that they should, some believe they shouldn't. It's that. So what has happened now is how we got to where this is happening so fast instead of waiting. They are no longer going to do a retrial, okay? They're not going to try to, like, add in evidence and see what they can do to change trials. So first, this is what I have gathered. First, they filed a motion. The state attorney's office, district attorney, Mr. George Gasgon, filed a motion Also, I want you to know that the family's attorney, of course, is involved. All right, and his name is Mark Geragos. They have now filed the motion, and then they were to set up a court date so that they could go in and speak with the judge. At that time, they would then come up with a court date. All this was done on Friday, okay? The press conference took place on the 25th. They had to get the hearing date set up. Also, getting the hearing set up because of COVID, they have different ways now of doing it, whether it's through Zoom. There's other ways that they could do it. Or are they going to appear? Now, once the judge hears, now, of course, the district attorney is going to allow people on both opinions to go in and speak on it. It's not, just an all one-way street of everybody just believes and let's go to it and petition for everything. No, basically, there are going to be some people actually from his office, from the DA's office, that is going to be speaking against the brothers on this. This is a little choppy. Gonna be a little choppy around the office, I feel. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, I kind of feel, I want to believe that this isn't all for a political gain, and that maybe that he is doing the right thing and making this so much easier for Lyle and Erik. I mean, this could not be any better, because usually, you have their side, then you have the prosecutors on the other side. And when you actually get the state to, be over here to help you, that's as close to a jackpot in the courthouse you're gonna get. What they'll do then is they will be in front of the judge. The judge will hear everything out. Now, this is where it gets a little washy for me, because I'm telling you, I've researched this, so if I misspeak, I apologize. Please politely correct me or give me, if you know any advice. But from what I understand, the judge, I believe, can say no, I'm not, or basically he could say, okay, I will allow this to go to the parole. So from what I understand, guys, what they are going to do is they are not trying to deny that they did it. They are not trying to go to manslaughter or anything. So, they were convicted murder without parole. They are basically allowing them to life basically with parole. So, with combined, it would be 50 years. What could happen is the judge could say, okay, time served, and basically they go home. Things would be decided if there was paroles or like probations or whatever, but it could go that simple. Or the judge could at least agree and send it to the parole board. Says, yeah, okay, I feel that they are in a position, I agree with this. And then from there, the parole board takes it on, and that is where everything will be decided. Now, it does not mean that it could go that smooth. It can be turned down. Kyle and Erik's attorney said they're expecting to have him there at Thanksgiving. I don't know if it moves that fast or not, but it sounds like they're moving pretty fast.
I think they're cautiously optimistic that they can see some real relief at this point.
You said you believe the brothers will be home by Thanksgiving, but Matt Gutman just laid out the timeline. So Thanksgiving seems ambitious, optimistic.
Yeah, I wasn't going to disagree with your reporter, but I don't think it's going to take 30 to 45 days to get a hearing in this case. I think we're going to have a hearing well before that. And in fact, if you want a little breaking news, the DA has already filed in the court. So the court has already got the filing.
So you still believe Thanksgiving?
Yeah, that's my goal, is to have them home for Thanksgiving.
It also says they can recommend that the courts release them immediately. I know that I'm kind of not as, like, usually I'm very fluid with things, but I really want to watch how I'm saying it and what I'm saying, because when I tell you that I thought I had it all worked out and then I had to go back down this hole because I couldn't understand while they were saying the attorney, well, I'm going to have them home. My goal is to have them home by Thanksgiving dinner. And I'm like, how? How is this going to happen that quick? Especially if we're trying to go for a new trial. I want to talk about some things also why people are rooting for them. Even why some of them that before were not on board are on board now, especially after like seeing the letter that came in, that there is just more proof that these boys were abused. After seeing the documentaries, like I said, that it's like it got everybody riled. I just want to talk about some of the things that they've done while they're in there. They do like a journey. One thing like what a parole would even look at is their journey and rehabilitation and redemption. Okay? But remember, when they went in, they were like, you're in here, you're never leaving. So they had absolutely no, like, okay, we're going to play this role and get married and get it all set up to where I look like I've done something and then I can get out. No, they did this to do this, right? So, because it wasn't to look good, what did they have to lose? Is really doing anything bad because they were never going home. Here, just some things documented. They were creating groups for people with untreated trauma, which is an excellent place in a prison to do, because a lot of the reason that people are in there is because of that. When you get down to the root of it, hurt people, as we've heard. Anyway, but that's what they were creating. Also, they were creating something for prisoners with disabilities and the treatment that they receive, and the having the community inside the prison for that. That's what advocacy work is. Also, they advocated for the prison to have better conditions. They spoke up when people complained or people were having problems. I've heard that they've been, looked at, kind of at a little higher level at times. But I know that they've had their issues. They've been there 34 years. You can't tell me they haven't had issues at some time or another. But you know what? They knew that they did have a little bit of an actual platform in there. They knew that. And you know what? They used it actually for good. They got a 4-year education in there. That's just a little bit of things that they've done. Those are also some of the reasons why people are petitioning. But there is a lot of evidence of all the terrible abuse. Now, you don't have to agree that they're getting out, or you can be really happy that they are getting out. It's been 34 years that they've been in there. I want to believe that all this isn't about political gain. I actually have never really heard of things moving this fast like this. Now, with the district attorney, and when I was reading into their firm, they said that they have actually freed like 300, like overturned 300 cases, and 28 of them were on murder. And was that a good thing? You don't know. You don't know till you know the case. But one thing I want to address, their family, Lyle and Eric's family, are actually there to speak for Lyle and Eric. Okay? There is all but about one. And he has his own attorney, and he will be there, I believe, to speak against. And there's little things politically involved on that end as well, too, allegedly. So, like I said, guys, I more or less came here today to kind of help you understand how they had been filed a motion to get them retried and try to overturn and get either a less sentence. To the reason it sped up was because literally of the letter that came about. Then after that, that is when docuseries got on the ball of things and they started releasing and talking about it. And when the state actually was like, we need to look at this case and wanted to speed it up and say, let's not do a retry. And this is the thing, guys. They wanted to hurry and get it all done before the original motion was going through, because doing it like this, if all else fails, they can fall back on they were under 26. So apparently there is a law in California that if they were under 26, because the crimes happened when the brothers were under 26 years old, they would be eligible for youthful parole under California law and would be released immediately. So, I had to make sure that I got that out because that is how they would be released immediately. So, this all has to move fast. So, like I said, they have already filed to the judge. They are waiting on the hearing date. They will go in, they will discuss everything during the hearing prior. They will have both sides of why he should do this, why not, if anybody is there to speak, against them. And like I said, they will still plead murder, but they want to take it with parole. And like I said, that they could do the crimes happen with the brothers under 26, and that would make them eligible for the youthful parole under California law. So they would be released. So that is why they're saying possibly home quickly. It's basically how quick they get in front of that judge. And what happens there, that's pretty much it. And then they can be released. And like I said, just keep in mind there's still a possibility that it could be denied. What do you feel? I mean, it's a lot to take in, and you don't have to make any decisions what you think is right or what you think is wrong. And I was a little nervous talking about this because this is a lot of information, and I am not an attorney and usually speaking like legal terms. I'm more into like the research and what I find out, and I like to go with the flow, but I felt this was important. And I want to add this in. Remember, Miss Gypsy Rose was asked at TMZ, and we all know she wasn't educated on it. When you have passion about something, you make notes and you sit. I just want to give her a little advice, and you sit and you just document and you document. I'm not sitting here reading from a phone, and that's not saying anything about me, but a lot goes in. If you're going to say you're going to be an advocate and you're going to speak on things, be prepared. So once again, when she said she wasn't educated and she hasn't done any work on the brothers, well, when brought up again to her or like advice for them was, basically, when you get out, they'll bring you up and then they'll tear you down. No, see, that's why I brought up what they've done in prison. I'm not here to really compare cases, but what I am here is to show the difference in people that are doing reform work and advocating. And these were people that had no clue that the outsiders were fighting this big for them, and that this was even an opportunity. I mean, 34 years. They've been in prison longer than they've lived. I just thought that that was something a little crummy to say. Wow, what a way to really like burst their bubble. Like, oh, when you they're going to make it look like they like you, and then they're going to shit on you because she's a victim. Anyway, guys, I hope I didn't drag it on too long. I hope now that you understand. They said that there was going to be about 25 people in there. Also, I know Kim Kardashian has been one. There has been celebrities that have come out, more than just Kim, to speak for them. So, this is going to be interesting. I'm going to keep you posted. Now that I've kind of got the basis of what's going on, hopefully everything will be smoother. I love y'all. I want to shout you out also for the great response on my last video, and to my 3 new members. Thank you so much. I'm going to be doing a live in the next day or two, probably Monday night. So I don't want to shout you out on the video because I don't know if you want me to or not. So we'll wait till a live. But thank you so much. It's going to help me get new equipment and invest in what I need. Anybody that does the super chats and all of that, that means the world to me. It helps so much. And just know that what I do, I truly, genuinely care about. And I know there's some other creators that do as well. So I love to see this community. And I've seen a couple in the same. And I just want to say thanks for all of us. We all can shine together. And that concludes my toughest probably breakdown I've done in a long time. And everybody, I will see you on the next search.